Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I can see so many familiar faces on the chat. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Hi, Valder here, Valentina, Mahdi, Sean, Hannah. Nice to see you guys. It's so nice to be back and be able to dig into our Photoshop skills together with this new Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name is Clary and I'm going to be your host for 2 weeks. We're going to create some amazing Photoshop artwork in those 2 weeks of challenges. There are going to be 9 challenges in total. Today, we're just going to explore a little bit Photoshop and learn how to join the challenge. In fact, for those of you who have not joined a challenge before, let me guide you through the website and how to get started with the challenge. So first of all, I will need you to go on our beautiful behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. This is the landing page. You should be able to, see my screen here. And as you can see, there is this big blue button. Right now it says chat with the community because I've already joined the challenge. But if you didn't join the challenge yet, let me show you what it's going to look like over here. So it's going to say take the challenge. So if you're already logged in on your Adobe ID, all you have to do is click on the big blue button in order to join the challenge. Once you're going to join the challenge, there are going to be a few steps. First of all, every morning you're going to receive an email with the topic of the challenge and also a link to download your startup file. Second, and very important, you'll be able to join our community chat. Our community chat is the beautiful Discord channel. Here it is, which I strongly recommend you to use. First of all, Discord is a great international community. There are people from all over the world that take the challenge just like yourself, and they'll be able to provide you feedback and share advice and simply get to know each other and maybe share tips on your freelance life if you're a freelance, or your graphic designer, or maybe if you're a student. Is a great place to be. And we're actually going to start by using it today because I'm going to share something with you in a moment. But let me go and keep saying hello to you beautiful people joining me. Mahadi, Sam, nice to see you. Marlene, Alberto, what's up? Nice to see you guys. Valentina, thank you so much for joining me. It's such a pleasure to be back. It's such a pleasure to be here with you guys. I hope you're going to have fun. Yes, Alberto, it's me. We're going to be here for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be with you from the 3rd today until the 13th, having fun with Photoshop, creating portfolio pieces. And actually, just to give you a little heads up on what the 2 weeks are going to look like, we're going to do a lot of photography editing. We're going to work in Lightroom. We're going to work, of course, in Photoshop, creating both graphic design and also some marketing material. So it's going to be fun. We're going to create some collages. Please stay tuned and join us every morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time in order to join the challenge and work together. If not, or if you have to leave the challenge for any reason, don't worry, this is recorded. So if you go on behance.net/live and scroll down, you'll be able to see the previous challenges. In fact, let's go back to our main landing page, which has all the information about the challenge. For those of you who just joined us right now, is behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. And as I said here, you're going to receive email once you join the challenge by clicking on this big blue button. For me, it says chat with the community because I already joined the challenge. So besides connecting with the community by clicking on this big button here where it says community chat on the link, you can also unlock the challenges day by day. So don't worry if you don't see anything yet. You're going to receive an email, and the email is going to bring you this landing page. And from tomorrow, we're going to be able to run through each challenge and download the appropriate file per each day. But also, if one challenge is not enough, you can scroll down and see all the past challenges for my amazing friends, streamers like Kathleen Martin, like Jesus Ramirez, like Vuduval. So if you want to create portfolio pieces, this is a great place to start. And as I said, always, Adobe Live is a great safe space, is a space to learn. I learn constantly every time that I'm with you guys. I hope that I can share with you some skills, but this is a safe space. Use it to practice, to create portfolio pieces, to get inspired, and to have fun. So also, if you're new with this Photoshop challenge, and maybe you don't have Photoshop yet, and you just want to, get started and learning, this is a great place to start also, because here, just before the past challenges, you can download Photoshop and you have a trial, so you can have fun with us and get hooked on these Photoshop fantabulous challenges. So let me go back into Discord here. So again, you can access Discord, which is our community chat, by clicking on the link. And you're gonna have this chat server here with all different channels. You can ask question into the ask question channel, or the most important one here is the current challenge. In the current challenge, I strongly recommend you to post your challenge. Again, don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. We are here for feedback. It's good that you get used to get feedback, because it's very important for us to learn how to improve our design, how to take in other people's opinion, and it's very inspiring to learn and to see what other people are doing. But let's get started. I want to dig into Photoshop a little bit and see what we can do today, because I was thinking that we could start with a project cover. What do you guys think? So we can use it for our amazing Behance page. People are still saying hello here. Claire, nice to see you. Jessica, hello from Miami. Yes, please guys, tell me where you are chatting from. As you probably already know, I'm an Italian designer, and I run a studio in Manchester in the UK, Studio Primaisol, and I'm very happy to be here and join you with this Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Welcome everyone. I can still see people saying hello. Are you ready for jumping in Photoshop and get our hand dirty? So let's go ahead. And what I'm gonna do today, as I anticipated, is created a small project, which is a cover for our 2 weeks challenges. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my personal photo. I strongly recommend to use your photo as well. But just in case you don't have a photo or you don't have a selfie ready that you think that is good enough to put out there right now, I thought to share something with you. In fact, I joined Jesus Ramirez to pick up his cat during this weekend, and I thought maybe you can use Mr. Meow photo for your cover. So I'm gonna go ahead on Discord and I'm gonna share with you Mr. Meow photo. Let me see here. So I'm gonna click on the plus and then going through my folder. Here we go, project cover, Mr. Meow, and click on open in order to share a photo on the current challenge channel. And I'm gonna be able to write a comment as well. So that's what you can do when you share your work, and that's how you share your work in Discord. So I'm gonna be like writing, feel free to use Mr. Meow for your cover project. I hope I haven't misspelled. Oop. There we go. Now I've uploaded the photo, which is you're gonna find on Discord under current challenge. That's a beautiful Mr. Meow. That's as Ramirez feline. And feel free to use the image and follow up with me on Photoshop to create your cover art. So as I said, I'm gonna use my own photo. Let's go and find it here in our desktop. And you're gonna have a little sneaky peek into my folder and we're gonna be doing in the next week. But as I said, a lot of photography. We're gonna use the iPad if you have one. Otherwise, you can follow us on Photoshop for desktop. But here is my photo. I'm gonna click it and drag it into Photoshop to open the file. That's my portrait. So we're gonna use color and gradient as usual. As you work with me before, you know how much I like bright and bold colors. So why not? We're gonna make an awesome bold cover together. I'm gonna go and have a look at the chat. Claire, is that really his name? Yes, he's called Mr. Meow. Isn't that a cool name? Yes, he's also very cute and very sweet. Dama, you're very welcome. The templates are still available. If you actually go on my website, iamclari.com/resources. Let's see if I'll be able to pull it up here. There are many templates, and if you follow me here on resources, you can download for free templates. Also, I'm gonna be with you guys for these 2 weeks, and also I'm gonna be joining you for some Illustrator fun, and I'm gonna be able to share more resources. But yeah, for now, you can find the resources on my website, and I'm very happy if they're useful for you guys. Sean, great photo. Yes, he's a very sweet, pretty cat. Again, feel free to use Mr. Meow if you have your photo, if you want to use your friend's photo, whatever works for you. I just thought to give you something fun and sweet to start with this week. Because it's Monday and we need cat love on Monday. I think that's the happiest waking up that you can have with a photo of a cute cat. Mr. Meow is perfect for this purpose. But I'm gonna go with my profile photo. So we're jumping back into Photoshop. Again, I have my photo here. I'm gonna give you guys a moment to open up Mr. Meow on your own photo, and hopefully we're ready to go. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is go into my adjustment layer and select gradient map. Now, the reason why we're using gradient map instead of a gradient is because a gradient, if we're gonna go ahead and use a gradient, all we have, and actually let me show you. If we click on a gradient, as you can see, there is a layer on top of my photo, and it's gonna apply the entire gradient all over my photo. But we don't want that. So I'm gonna click cancel, and I'm actually gonna go back into the adjustment layer and click on gradient map. As you can see, between the gradient and a gradient map, there is a very huge difference in terms of output. And the reason is because the gradient map is actually mapping the color of the gradient and using the luminosity of the image. So as you can see, the darker area get darker and the lighter stay lighter. So it doesn't flat apply on the photo. Now, I want to use two colors to make it more vibrant. And in order to edit our gradient map, all we have to do is click here on the gradient. And I'm going to create my own personalized gradient. So red is quite cool, but I want to have a little bit of a contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this little square here in order to change the color. And we have our color picker window showing up. And perhaps this is a little bit too dark. Again, for the lighter area, it's good that we use a lighter color. I like this contrast. What do you guys think? Again, pick whatever color you want. Just make sure that you choose a light color for the light area and a darker color for the darker one. So I'm gonna press OK to commit the changes. And I'm gonna add this new gradient into my presets because I'm gonna be using it further into this for the cover. And I'm gonna name it Clari Cover Gradient and click on new. And as you can see, we have a new gradient here, a new gradient swatch under our preset. I'm gonna press OK and leave it like that for now. Then Command New to open a new window. I'm gonna use my 1920 by 1080, which is a HD resolution, and I'm gonna name the project Cover BCC, and I'm gonna hit on making sure that the color mode is RGB because we're gonna be working for a digital output. CMYK will be for print, so make sure that you go ahead and click on RGB color in order to keep the screen vivid color resolution, and then press on create to open the window. I'm gonna have a little bit of my kitty power drink, and here we go. So we have our file open, and now we're gonna import that gradient. How do we go back and use the gradient? Go in your adjustment layer, select gradient, and once you click on the gradient fill, here it is. The gradient that we saved a moment ago is still available to use on another project. Isn't that amazing? So let's go ahead and click on the gradient. and press OK. And then I'm gonna rotate it. So I just gonna give a little bit of a nice fading in from a lighter to dark. Also, Photoshop is super cool, allows you to move it into the actual canvas. We go here, and linear is fine. And I'm gonna press OK. Then we're gonna go in our frame tool over here in our toolbar. And once you click on the frame tool, we wanna have a circular frame tool. So I'm gonna click on the circular frame tool up here, and then go back into our canvas and click and drag and Alt Shift in order to constrain proportion. And here it is, we have a circle, and we're gonna move it to the middle of our canvas. As you can see, we have these beautiful magenta guidelines that help us to find the middle. If you cannot see them, go under View, Show, and make sure that your smart guides are ticked. So those are super helpful Photoshop best friends that allow you to make sure that everything is centered. Now I'm gonna go ahead on this bounding box and just drag it up a little bit and keep pressing Option in order to make my frame a little bit bigger, and then drag it around until our magenta guide shows that is in the center. Then I'm gonna go back into my image photo, select both layers by pressing Shift, and then Command E to merge the layer. And then I'm gonna simply click and drag into the other layer and into my frame, and magic. My photo is already masked within the circular frame that we created. Command T to transform, and we're gonna click and drag down on our bounding box in order to scale the image, and then we're gonna move it around until we are happy with the position of the image, and click Return to commit the changes. So I'm gonna see if everyone is catching up. I'm Michelle, ID, people are still joining and say hello. John, nice to see you. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces, guys. I'm very happy to be here with you again. But let's go back. We don't have much time, and I really want to make sure that we get this cover done. So what I'm going to do now is go in our shape tool here and select on ellipse tool. And I'm going to click and drag in order to create an ellipse. So what I've done is I've created an ellipse, but it doesn't look like a perfect circle because I forgot to Alt Shift in order to constrain proportion. So I'm going to press Delete with the layer selected in order to delete the layer. And I'm going to go back into my shape. This time I'm going to Alt Shift so we have a nice circle showing up. And then I'm going to press Option. As you can see, we have a double arrow. I'm going to create another here. And then maybe another small one here. Command T to transform and scale it down. And then hit Return to commit and Option. And again, we're gonna scale it down. Now, what I wanna do is make sure that those ellipses have a gradient as well. So I'm gonna go into my layer styles and gradient overlay. And I'm gonna use the same gradient that I was using for my background. So it's already selected. I'm gonna press OK. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press Alt on top of the effect and drag it into the other layer. Now make sure that you click and press Option at the same time, because that will allow you to copy the effect into the ellipses. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the first ellipse, Alt Shift, and here select the last ellipse in order to select them all. Command G to group, and I'm gonna call this group ellipses. Perfect. Something else that I want to do here is add a little bit of a shadow on this image because it's looking a little flat. So I'm going to go into my frame and add a new layer by clicking on this little plus here. This is a new icon for our new layer. And then click Option. And as you can see, I have this little down pointing arrow, which is going to allow you to create a clipping mask. Go into the brush. And as you can see, I have a very, very big brush. It's about 900 in size and 0% hardness. It's a very soft brush. And we're gonna go ahead and paint by picking up with the eyedropper tool. I just press I in order to get the eyedropper tool. And then B again to jump back in our brushes. And we're gonna paint a little bit of red here. Maybe it's a little bit too much, but what I can do is move this layer here down. And as you can see, it's only affecting my photo. And then press return to commit because it's a clip layer. So by having a clipping mask, it's only gonna affect the layer below. Then I'm gonna go ahead into my type tool and click here on top of this big sphere. I'm gonna use centric Gothic bold on white and maybe make it a little bit bigger. It's looking a little small at the moment, but let's go ahead and click and put, I'm gonna just use my name. So I'm gonna be typing Claudia, and it doesn't show because it's sitting under the ellipse. So as you can see here, we're gonna have to click and drag and bring this layer on top of the ellipses. Oops, let me zoom out so you can actually see. We're dragging it up on top of the ellipses. I think it's going into the ellipses. Here it is. So it's out of the group, it is on top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select the text and make it way bigger because we want people to see our names. Here it is. And perhaps we can use another text layer here for our handle. My handle is I am Claudia, and we're gonna make these smaller. And here it is here. Click back on the move tool and position it underneath. We have only a few minutes today. I'm gonna share with you on Discord and more advanced cover with different graphic, but I think that's a very good starting point for you guys to go ahead and finish up and personalize your graphic. I want to show you the final result to just have an idea of what you can achieve. Here I've been using some lines, I've been using a pattern. It's not far off from what we've done already. I'm gonna be sharing this with you, of course, on Discord. Let's go back on our Discord, and also hopefully we can have here a link on top of me just so you guys can join the Discord and making sure that you know how to get there. Here he is. Please join us on Discord. I look forward to see your work. I'm gonna share with you my work and my feedback. And of course, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow and every day for the next 2 weeks at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm very happy to be with you. Now, for those of you who just joined us, remember, go onto our behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, click on the big blue beautiful button in order to join the challenge. And again, if you don't have time to off because your time zone doesn't work out at 9 a.m. Pacific, this is recorded. So if you go on behance.net/live, you'll be able to see all the recording. And I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you. I can see Patty, Anna, Jennifer, Lena, Mia. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so exciting to be with you as usual. And I'll see you tomorrow with some amazing challenges, which are gonna be here on the unlock challenges. You're gonna have files that you're gonna be able to download day by day. As I say, we're gonna be working on photography and graphic design. So I'm excited to be with you. Come back here tomorrow and I'll see you on Discord right after this stream. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'll see you.